who you are and what you sail, what you've done.
My name's Elliott Hanson. I'm a laser sailor in the British sailing team. I used to be a topper sailor.
Brilliant. And Elliott, I believe that you have competed at the Top World Championships before. Can you tell us about that?
I have, yes. Many years ago now. I'm starting to feel old. So I did my first Top Worlds in 2007, which was in Lake Garda. I'd have been 13 years old. And I did my second one 2008 in a place called Tralee, which was west coast of Ireland in 2008.
And were you quite successful at one of those?
Yeah, one more so than the other. I was still growing, so I was a little bit small actually in Lake Garda, and then second year in Tralee I managed to win.
Brilliant. So we're actually in a car at the moment, you can probably see that, coming back from an event in Norway, and I believe you've just become a world champion for the second time. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, 14 years later, we won the 5.5 Worlds over in Hanson, Norway. Great fun. For those that don't know, it's three people on board. I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to steer after some misfortune for our owner and friend Morty. Great time, great experience, and I guess for me all stemmed from the top class.
Brilliant, thanks Elliott. And going into this recent World Championships, you were definitely one of the favourites. So for those going to Garda this year and kind of looking to win it, or looking to be at the top, how do you manage yourself when you're going into a big competition? Like you competed in the Olympics, you competed in lots of World Championships now. What do you do when you're going to a big regatta?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. And actually, as soon as you mentioned it earlier, I literally remember the day before the World Championships in Tralee in Ireland, and I was a nervous little kid, probably because I was actually one of the favourites to win then. And my coach, or one of my topper coaches at the time, was called Kirsty. She's now Kirsty Boner, but now is Kirsty Lynch. And the advice she gave to me was, you're going to go through your whole career, and every event you go to, there's always going to be one bigger in the future. So it's always going to be there, and it's kind of just going to be the person who embraces it the most and deals with it most. As you mentioned, in Norway we were probably one of the favourites, if not the favourite, and we had an awful day of all. There was a bit of misfortune in there, and there was a bit of, we weren't necessarily doing things as well as we could have done. And I think, a regatta or a series is always going to be defined by those days, and for us it kind of was as well. The second race we had a shocker start, we were late, hit the pin end, had to do a 360, and we were kind of a minute behind, and I think experience over time teaches you that those moments kind of define your series, and it's the people that deal with the bad days the best that kind of end up being more consistent through a series. The good days are usually quite natural, and you just kind of roll with them, and you take your slice of luck and so on. But your bad days are the ones that are going to define your regatta, and probably as a sailor as well.
Brilliant, thank you. So look out for yourself on the bad days, and good days are easy.
Something like that.
And Elliott, what about those? I know you've sailed at Garda and you've sailed at the Top World Garda. So what about those sailors that are new to the venue, maybe new to the topper, coming to their first World Championships? What do you do in their position? Maybe if you can remember back to being me.
I'm thinking about it. And I was a lake sailor, so for me, and I was quite small at the topper. I think I was probably my first Worlds, probably not even 50 kilos. So I was quite small, and Lake Garda can be at times windy. I think it kind of comes to just playing to your strengths and your weaknesses a little bit. I knew I wasn't going to be one of the fastest there. So it was kind of maybe damage limitation on the windy days, and just making sure I was smart with where I was starting, taking the easy game with the bias or whatever, making sure the boat was easy to sail, the way I set the boat up with the controls depowering, as much as I possibly could to make it easy. And then on the light wind days, you just wake up and you realise, okay, this is my day. Go out there with confidence and make sure you're enjoying yourself, and things will fall into place. And it's also a learning experience. For me, I guess the 2007 Worlds in Garda set me up quite nicely for the year after, when I grew a bit and had a bit more time in the boat and experience. And so just make sure you're learning it and having fun. And I'm sure you will, though, because it's a great venue.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, Elliott, and congratulations for your recent World Championship win.
Yeah, thanks. Brilliant. Good luck out there.